The huge problem of handling the range requirements of a truck has been addressed by throwing lots and lots of battery at it. The right way or not, but it surely looks like the inevitable, with the challenges of these large EV applications, particularly hauling and towing. General Motors has put in a solid double stack 200 plus kilowatt hour battery pack that's 400 volt with two layers set in parallel. The actual voltage will be low 300, and for higher power, those layers will get wired in series, boosting voltages nearer to 800 or high 600s, low 700s. The pack size is probably 240 kilowatt hour with 215 usable, and that's led to a massive range boost, 400 to 500 miles, which is plenty handy when one discounts the heavy hauling that these trucks are required to do. A challenge for electric trucks. With all the range in the world, efficiency thrown to the sides, 350 kilowatt charging, and big towing makes the Silverado the number one truck currently. So let's get into the Chevy Silverado EV RST. The Silverado EV is 233 inches long with a bed that takes 66 inches of it. It's 82 to 84 inches wide and 78 to 79 inches tall. That bed can extend to 130 inches with the midgate that opens up. To open the midgate, the seats need to be folded. The hooks on the top enable removing the rear window. Placing the window in the separator underneath and folding it opens up the entire space for a long truck bed that measures up to those industry leading 10 feet and 10 inches. Pardon me for not having demonstrated it here owing to certain restrictions. It has a ground clearance of 8.9 inches and a wheelbase of 145.7 inches. There is no Apple CarPlay and it's completely reliant on its native Google software. Numbers are always short on clarity when coming from GM, and we are required to do with what we get. So I would also like you to consider them accordingly. The bed has 4 120 volt and one 240 volt outlets. The front trunk has one NEMA 520 outlet and the cabin has 5 USB ports and one 12 volt. GM has developed an integrated battery pack with the vehicle body, giving improved weight distribution. The RST trim offers 754 horsepower and 785 pound-feet of torque, while the work truck offers 510 horsepower and 615 pound-feet of torque. The structure offers air suspension, 4-wheel drive, and one-pedal driving. The Silverado has the base work truck, the LT, the RST, the RST First Edition, and the Trail Boss as trims on offer, all subject to production schedules and availability by location. The big battery charges at 350 kilowatt peak DC and 19.2 kilowatt AC. This is the case to get that 100 amp circuit commissioned at home, if not present, to draw in the full 80 amps on offer. Very much worth for a large battery this size. The 800 volt pack can charge at 350 kilowatt if given the power. By EPA estimates, over 315 miles of range can be added in about 52 minutes. Filling in 200 plus kilowatt hour is like filling in 3 battery packs of a regular electric vehicle. On range and charging, that makes it a great EV. The charging port of the Silverado at the driver side rear is great for charging on Tesla superchargers, though it's still not the best for a vehicle this size and could do well with a pull-through charger, which are not available in enough numbers in the US currently. In the front, the Silverado has a front panel in place of a conventional grille as seen in the gas-powered Silverado. In the middle is the Chevy emblem. It has headlights that are shaped like inverted coats with an LED bar on top and the turn signals at the corners. A power dome-shaped hood sits on top of a massive front trunk that plays with rounded side panels adding to the aero profile. A rugged black cladding with integrated air vents sits underneath forming the front bumper. That front trunk is 10.7 cubic feet, weather sealed and lockable. A 5 feet 11 inch bed that has 4 120 volt and one 240 volt outlets. The bed is well equipped with tie down points, a tailgate that's fully powered for opening and closing, and good LED lights. It has a taller hitch with electrical hookups, a strong bumper with integrated side steps. Some trims do have exhaust cutouts. The Chevy badge sits on the tailgate and there are configurations here to be optioned based on user requirements. On the side are the LED taillights. The passenger doors have the aluminum door handles with the lock and unlock button, which are set in a plastic panel. It has a huge panel beneath with a soft armrest at the end and buttons for the windows in the front. Below that are the huge Bose speakers with a metal trim running around and across. The hollow area in between has some grooves and a door pocket. At the top of the dash is a groovy center. The main area of the dash is a sloping surface on top with a stitched material in the middle in the signature red and blue thread. The vents sit at the corners and that follows an open cubby. Beneath that is a plastic panel that on top of a small glove box where you can find the tow hook and the user manual. The Silverado has a 17.7 inches center display and an attached 11 inches instrument cluster for infotainment. It's a standard Google infotainment system which we have covered on the Chevy Equinox. There are some interesting features which we will take a re-look at in a separate video I plan on software soon. The driver door has the buttons for the 4 windows and the controls for adjusting the mirrors on the panel extending from the armrest. On the doors are the door lock and unlock buttons along with controls for the seat adjustment. The steering is round shaped with stitched leather and this area on top marked for the Super Cruise status. At the center is the horn with the Chevy badge. The two spoke have the set of buttons with the Super Cruise and cruise control buttons on the left of the driver. The thin buttons enable adjusting the following distance. On the right of the driver are the buttons for the phone calls, voice commands, sound system, heated steering, and the button to adjust the different views on the instrument cluster. At the bottom is the bridge with the opening with the letters of the trim marked prominently. Also on the left is the regen paddle that besides the regen is also used to exit the Super Cruise driver assistance system when engaged. On the left stalk are the wiper controls and the turn signals. On the right stalk is the drive shifter. On the driver's side, there is the parking button and the button to adjust the height of the truck. That follows what looks like the button to adjust the lane centering and the buttons to open the front trunk and the tailgate. Also available is the regular trailer brake controller. Under the infotainment is the panel for climate control with the knobs at the corners for individual seats. Under the panel is the shelf for what looks like wireless phone charging, 2 USB ports and a 12 volt. That follows the prominently marked set for the 2 cup holders and some storage. That follows some deep storage under the armrest with another USB port within. The seats have adjustable headrests and seat belts and some good bolsters for the back and thighs. At the center the material is set for temperature variations and the seats have the red and blue stitching on the sides with the red strip on the side. The rear seats get the vents, the 2 USB ports and some storage. The rear seats are in the 60-40 configuration with the pull-out cup holders. The seats can collapse fully and behind them is a panel. On top is the hook to pull out the rear window which can then be placed in that panel. Folding down the set panel opens the cabin to the truck bed, extending the 5 feet 6 inches to a full 10 feet 10 inches. I am unable to demonstrate the same due to the restrictions with this demo model, for which I apologize, but it's fairly straightforward. 2 people could do it even quicker with 1 person folding the seats from either side. The Silverado has a 10.7 cubic feet front trunk with a NEMA 520 outlet and that's fully powered, optional. It comes with an inflator kit in place of a spare and that will be a bummer to many. A spare with a truck is taken for granted. The tailgate has multi-stage step opening and can open at different levels to suit the cargo. It has one 7.2 kilowatt power outlet in the trunk at 240 volt and 30 amps to go with the adjacent 4 NEMA 520s. That 10 feet 10 inches length with the open midgate is massive and takes it comfortably over anything else in the market. From the 4.5 feet of the Rivian bed, the 5.5 feet of the F-150 Lightning and the 6 feet of the Cybertruck. Those are values with the tailgates closed. Even with the tailgate closed, the Silverado will measure 9 feet thanks to that opening midgate. This is a feature most truck owners will value heavily for work. I did not like the tonneau cover at all as it was very difficult to handle. Folding in the rear and with multiple places to lay the resting bar. The reins did not make it easy when I was first checking it. Here you see it fully closed and it's a foldable cover. I simply prefer the mechanism of the Rivian, the Cybertruck, that open and close straight. What the Silverado ultimately brings together is massive range, high power charging and enormous utility. particularly with that midgate. Very clearly, GM has been listening to the customers, and it makes little sense to comment on those many individual decisions. Those three factors make it way too compelling over anything else. It surely lacks the software of a Tesla or a Rivian, but ask the truck buyer on their preferences. Notwithstanding my own opinion, as a matter of fact, other products from the group like the GMC Sierra Denali have a better shot at challenging the Silverado with similar features, but probably very little to differentiate with. If you like this video, let me know in the comments. If you like to see my impressions of the new Tesla Juniper, you can check it here. I'll see you soon in the next one.